you this. There's much going on in the world at large and in our personal lives that can be very challenging to navigate. Activist Valerie Carr reminds us that in the face of horrors visited upon our world daily, in the struggle to protect our loved ones, choosing to let in joy is a revolutionary act. And I think that's worth repeating. Choosing to let in joy is a revolutionary act. It returns us to everything that is good and beautiful and worth fighting for. And I want to assure you that making room for joy does not cancel out the array of feelings you may be holding regarding the circumstances of the world. Rather, making room for joy to arrive is a declaration and a reminder that choosing joy is an act of resistance. It's an act that says, despite challenge, despite fear, hurt, and confusion, I will not let hardship have the final voice. After all, this joy that we are was not given to us by the events of the world, and the world cannot take it away unless we let it. I think I speak for most of us here that this is a message that we need to hear on a regular basis. I know that I do. And for that very reason, it made sense to me to carve out some time to focus on bringing joy front and center. You know, what is joy? And I asked that question. We were talking about it, singing about it. We've been blowing bubbles about it. But what is it really? I'm guessing that you know it when you feel it. One definition I came across described joy as a state of mind and an orientation of the heart. And I like that idea, an orientation of the heart. Historian Howard Zinn reminds us that to be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, and kindness. He says, what we choose to emphasize in this complex history will determine our lives. If we see only the worst, it destroys our capacity to do something. If we remember those times and places, and there are so many, where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act and at least the possibility of sending this spinning top of a world in a different direction. And I need to say that I see this community doing that. The Justice Table, that is an act of resistance. That's an act that is making a definite choice of sending the spinning top in a different direction than headlines may bring our attention to. He continues, if we do act in however small a way, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of present moments. And to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, that in itself is a marvelous victory. The Time for All Ages story reminded us that joy does not always come when it's called. We cannot be talked into feeling joy. Joy doesn't stand by to be had at our beck and call, but the circumstances for evoking joy can be cultivated. Happiness is a very close relative to joy, and that tends to be an emotion that is externally triggered. There is a psychologist, Rachel Fernley, says that happiness is generally based on other people, things, places, thoughts, and events that occur outside of ourselves. Joy, on the other hand, comes when we look inside, when we're able to make peace with who we are, why we are here, and how we are in this world. Making peace with ourselves is a practice. It takes cultivation. It takes a conscious choice to orient ourselves in such a way that we are willing to open ourselves to the wonder and goodness that we are, and the wonder and goodness that exists around us, even when the world feels totally upside down. It takes practice to look for those glimmers, the guiding stars in the dark night that can spark that sense of joy within us. And I think that's something that little children really know. I mean, just watch Leva. She is just present with everything. And joy comes pretty easily to her. I watch her pick up some random toy, and it just brings real delight. And I think that's something that we really appreciate when we see children. It reminds us of our own innate orientation to wonder. Little children have not made the shift from their unconditional understanding that they are indeed wonder and goodness incarnate. They have not yet abandoned their inner compass to the dictates of the world. They make room for joy to arrive at any moment. As adults, it takes a willingness to leave behind harsh judgments of ourselves and all of the expectations we use to should ourselves and the world at large into being something that simply may not be as we wish it would be. And while joy is something that cannot be certain to come when we call, I do believe it's contagious. I mean, just think about when you were blowing bubbles this morning, I saw so many smiles, so many brightly lit faces. It's contagious. When one person opens themselves up to the expression of joy within their lives, I think that sends an invitation to those around us to do the same. Like the bubbles that were here this morning, it was a simple invitation to just be, to make room for wonder, for delight, and for joy. So, we're going to try an experiment. We're going to open up the service so that you can call out to joy, just like Bill did on the beach. He called out with abandon to joy. And I know this might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm just going to invite you to do this anyhow. Call out joy, and maybe joy is going to show up just like that dog did, wet and sandy, tongue hanging out, ready to romp with you. So let's start making our claims to joy right here. Who has some joy they would like to shout out into the universe right now? Songs. Music. Birthdays? What else? Cake. Little children. Art. Baking. Puppies. Nature. Friendships. Compassion. Cooking. Love and love of life. Colored lights. Crisp air. Yeah, we have that today. There are so many things that, whether you felt there was something that rose to your lips this morning or not, I know that there are those things inside of you that you can put your finger on and you say, yeah, this lifts me up. If you haven't publicly shared your joy out loud this morning, I invite you to make time sometime today to just let somebody else know what brings you joy. And I'm going to leave this part of the morning with a quote by Valerie Carr. We can't force joy, but we can make space for it. May we look up at that night sky. May we let joy in. For we will be someone's ancestors one day. If we show up with our whole hearts, they will inherit not our fear, but our bravery, born of joy. So that is an invitation to you to live your life in such a way that what you leave, part of your legacy, is this idea that you can be brave in any point of your life and that you can find those glimmers of joy as you move through the world.
I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready when joy comes back to me.
we had an offering earlier, and this is what I'm calling a reverse offering. I have little scrolls that have quotes about joy, and you're invited to take one, and you can see some of them are already bursting open with joy, so I don't know. So take one, you can save it for later, and maybe it will be just that little thing that shifts you in a moment when you need it. So don't be a Our closing words today are by Heather Ryan Starr. May whatever gatherings or activities we engage in this afternoon help to restore us. Our connection to one another, our sense of hope, beauty, and fun in this world. Our deep knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and each other with love and joy if we are to soulfully survive the world's mayhem.
Our closing hymn today is in the big hymnal 168, One More Step. Please join us as you're willing and able and rise and join us to sing.
Symbolically extinguish our chalice. It's almost done the job itself. If you're joining us on screen, now's the time to turn your camera on and wave to us, and it'll be on the recording, so please do it. Please join me in our words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish the flames, but not the